YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back, and I got my final playoffs and Super Bowl predictions for the upcoming NFL season for you guys right here, right now. Just under a week until the NFL season kicks off. I'm pumped. We'll have full coverage during the whole season. Hopefully you can join us for that. We also have some other things available for you guys. Discord private chats. A lot of you are already in there. Hopefully more of you can join. Constant NFL discussions in there, and that will continue throughout the whole year. And then you can join our NFL Pick'ems League. Pick alongside us. We'll have Pick'ems videos every single week. Plenty more, including bonus videos. How to get this stuff. Check out that link you see at the top, patreon.com/thegoathouse, or you can click that link towards the top of the description. Much appreciated if you just check it out. Also much appreciated if you can click that subscribe button. Our goal is at 40K by the end of this year. Please help us get there. Click that like button. Turn notifications on. Like I said, all kinds of coverage for the NFL in season. So it'll be worth it, and hopefully you can join us. Playoffs. So if you watched my division by division breakdowns, I had two videos, one for the AFC and NFC. Then you know who my division winners are. There they are. And there's the seeding. The seeding's there for the AFC: Patriots, Chiefs, Steelers, Titans. That's the top four. NFC: Saints, Eagles, Vikings, Seahawks. The AFC was pretty simple. 1 and 2 pretty close in terms of record. I did go game by game. And then the NFC was all pretty tight too. And the Seahawks getting better at Clowney, obviously, but I did have winning division before that. And let's take a look at my wild cards. Tough for both conferences here because there's a lot of options, a lot of good teams. So ended up being the Chargers at 5 and the Ravens at 6. The Chargers they're too good to not make the playoffs. You know, the Chargers have been disappointing when having good teams in the past, so I guess it could happen. And Derwin James is out, so I guess it's very possible, especially since it's tough to win that division with the Chiefs, but they can also win a division. And the Ravens at 6, I really like this defense, very well coached, a lot of young players. They always have depth. People overreact from the guys they lost. They also gained Earl Thomas. The guys they lost, it won't be too much of an impact. They got guys stepping up like crazy, and I think the offense will be better as well. So I got the Ravens at 6. Which teams just missed the cut? The Browns would be next, but obviously I couldn't have them in there unless the Ravens were 5 and the Browns were 6. And the Browns are a very good team, very fun offense, very young defense as well. They're really good. They're worthy of the playoffs. It's just so many good teams. Had to, just leave them out. And the next team after the Browns for me was actually the Broncos. I think the Broncos defense could get them in the playoffs. Very tough division here. Those are the next two best teams in my opinion. Browns and Broncos. Also consider plenty other teams. I went over more of those teams in the AFC division breakdown video. But the Broncos, like I said, defense can get them in. I think they can have elite defense, elite pass rush. But is that enough in today's NFL? I'd like to think it is, but I think you just need more offense, which they're lacking. It's not going to be terrible, but they just need more offense. The NFC: Saints, Eagles, Vikings, Seahawks. Who is in, who is out? Tough leaving some of these good teams out, but I got the Bears at 5 and the Rams at 6. The Bears are just too good to keep out. Very complete team. It's just really on the quarterback. Quarterback has to improve in some way. You cannot stay the same. Mitchell Trubisky, that is. I'm not doubting his long-term potential. Just needs to improve this year pretty quickly, I think. And then the Rams at 6, and the Rams are also too good to keep out, too well coached, too much elite talent on that team. You can't leave a team out that much elite talent. So that leaves out quite a few good teams. And I guess 7th place, the 7th seed would have been the Atlanta Falcons for me. I think they're going to put up a lot of points. I think their defense gets better from last year, so that equals their team being better than last year, but still not enough. I do worry about that offensive line. I really do. I worry about a few teams' offensive lines, but the Falcons, I really worry about the offensive line. It's not going to make Matt Ryan play bad or anything. He's still going to play very well. Just missed the cut. Still a very good record. And then next would be the Cowboys and the Packers. I'm as recording this video, Zeke is not signed. He could actually sign before this goes up, but I still wouldn't squeeze him in there. They need Zeke, but they're just not consistent enough. They haven't shown me enough consistency. It seems like every other year. They're good, they're bad, and even during the year. I mean, Cowboys fans should know they're up and down during the year. People calling for firings, and I just don't say consistent enough. I think there's 6 better teams, and the Packers. The Packers are a team that can win their division, or they can, just miss the playoffs like I kind of have predicted. I think it's going to take another year. I think next year, as long as there's no crazy, affecting injuries for long term or anything like that, which I don't expect, I think next year they'll be a very good team because there's a lot of new faces that were the right new faces to bring in there. It's just, they're going to click at one point during this year. It's going to come together, but how long will it take? And slight concern in the back of my mind about the health. You've seen it with Rodgers, seen it with some offensive linemen, seen it with Aaron Jones. So, and I do think they need some more offensive weapons, but still a very good team. So those are the 3 teams that just missed. Falcons, I think, being the next one, then probably Packers and Cowboys. So those are my playoff teams. Let's go round by round now. Let's start with the wild card round. I'll break them all down. I got an upset here in terms of seeding. Ravens over Steelers, division battle. You may say, oh, how'd you have the Steelers winning and you have the Ravens winning here? Playing the matchup game. I think the Ravens win the matchup game. I also think the Steelers have a favorable regular season schedule, so that helps them get to first overall in the division in the AFC North. The Ravens, I like the matchup here. I think the defense wins this game. I also think it was a good learning experience from last year for the play calling on offense and for Lamar Jackson. They also gained some more weapons on offense too. Poorly coached game on the offensive side in that playoff game against the Chargers. Again, I think a learning experience, but the defense mainly takes this one away here. The Ravens beat the Steelers. The Chargers over the Titans, so 2 upsets in terms of seedings. But they're not really big upsets. I think Chargers and Titans are pretty similar teams. They're very balanced, very complete. Just more trust in the just more trust in Phillip Rivers and the Chargers pass rush. Those are the things that puts them over the top of the Titans. And a little more trust in the Chargers' health, actually. Derwin James could be back. Titans' health at this point in the season. Their depth's pretty darn good, so they may be okay. But it's a little concerning. I just think the Chargers are the better team. And then the NFC side, the Rams-Vikings, very interesting one because I have concerns about both offensive lines. The Vikings, I think, getting better from last year, but they were dead last year, so how much better will they get? The Rams were good last year. I think the offensive line gets worse. So they both have concerns there. I have, in this particular game, this stage, I have some little concerns in their quarterbacks winning this particular game. Can they get over this hump here against good defenses while they're getting pressured? So they're pretty even at this point. The edge goes to the Rams because Aaron Donald getting that interior pressure is the game changer. Along with the Rams kind of being in these scenarios last year and getting to the Super Bowl, their coaching staff can get unique, and I think that is the difference. And as a Vikings fan, I think other Vikings fans will know what I mean when I say it'll be a total Vikings move to win a division, look like they're back, and then blow it right here, probably on a field goal. Seahawks over Bears. My thoughts on the Seahawks changed over time, but it changed before the Clowney trade. I've been feeling the Seahawks, but the Clowney trade kind of affects this stage right here. This is a tough game. I may have the Bears winning before that. I think Clowney just takes that next step for the Seahawks. I think he's a crazy impact guy. I mean, it's not going to impact them. It's not going to change them from a bad team to a good team. So that's definitely not what happened here. But I think the Seahawks at home here get the edge. Not a whole bunch of trust in Trubisky here against Russell Wilson. The Bears had the pass rush in the defense going for them, but I think the Seahawks kind of got better in that scenario, in that category. So that's what it kind of matched the Bears there. But the Bears defense could take over if Trubisky improves more than I think he will. Then that's a Super Bowl team for sure, and I think they're a Super Bowl team already. So I'm not ruling them out from there. Obviously, I think any of these teams in the playoffs could really win the Super Bowl. I like the Seahawks. I'm starting to kind of get a feeling about them here. So we're going to the divisional round. I got the Patriots over the Ravens, and I got the Chiefs over the Chargers. These were pretty simple ones for me, not saying they're easy wins. The Ravens could match up well against the Patriots. The Patriots at home, not a whole bunch of experience from the Ravens, a lot of new faces. The Patriots are just better. They got Tom Brady, they got the coaching staff. They'll have the game plan down. They win it. Their run game's going to be fun to watch this year. Chiefs over Chargers. It could go either way. It really could go either way. I think the Chiefs' offense is just too much, especially at home, and they get enough pass rush too. At this stage of the season, their offense could be better than it was last year, and their defense can be better than it was last year. I'm not saying statistically during the regular season will it be, like will Mahomes throw for that many touchdowns? Will the team have that many touchdowns? Probably not, but I think at this stage of the season, it will be better, be more prepared. And then the divisional round for the NFC, I got the Saints over the Rams. A easy one here because I don't see any way the NFL, and it's sad how it is, but the NFL lets the Rams beat the Saints. And I do think the Saints are the better team here, too. I do worry a little bit about the Rams' offensive line at this point of the season. Saints are more complete. They're at home. They win. I got the Seahawks over the Eagles now, too. I worry about the Eagles' health at this stage of the season. Late in the regular season, too, I just think they're just it should be. They should get comfy in the NFC East, I guess I should say. Cowboys were a threat last year. They can be this year. Who knows? Maybe the Redskins can be too. I'm not predicting anybody to get hurt, really. They need to show me they can stay healthy in important spots. Quarterback, offensive line, and they were pretty beat up on the defensive side too. And I think there are holes in the defense, but a very good team if healthy, and they don't have Nick Foles to step up and win them this game like they have in the past. So that there's legitimate reasons I explained that I need to be shown more to be able to push them beyond this point. But even with those injuries, they can still win the game. That's the thing. So I do have the Seahawks beating them. The Seahawks, pretty complete team. Russell Wilson with experience. They have some elite players and very, very, very well coached team here for the Seattle Seahawks. So now we're moving on to the AFC and NFC championship games. I got the Chiefs over the Patriots. I got the Saints over the Seahawks. Chiefs-Saints Super Bowl. Why the Chiefs over the Patriots? I think they get their revenge. Like I said, I think their offense and defense will be better at this stage from like a year ago at this point. The Patriots' run game will be absolutely nasty, will be really good. Their pass game will be very good as well. But no Gronk is a factor, but mainly worst pass rush, I think, from the Patriots. The pass rush took a hit. Trey Flowers was also dominant at this point of last year. So Michael Bennett could be good, but I think the pass rush takes a hit, which could be harder for the secondary to play as good as they did last year, but it's definitely a contender, legit elite team. I got the Chiefs. Too much offense. Defense steps up. Nothing special, though, but defensive line's very special, very special. Saints over Seahawks. I expect if this game happened, I expect the Saints to win this game. I think they should win the game. Not easily, but they should win the game. That's what we expect. I think pretty even in the quarterback, whether you agree with that or not, to me, they're even in the quarterback category. The Seahawks should be able to run the ball. I just don't know if they can throw the ball enough to put up enough points. I mean, Russell Wilson can throw, but the Saints are a much better passing team, just how it is. So I think the Saints just outscore them. And then defensively, the Seahawks have a little better defense, but it's not going to mean too much against the Saints unless they get some crazy pass rush. But not ruling the Seahawks out. These two games, I just didn't have to think much about them. I was kind of just made up my mind here. So Chiefs, Saints in the Super Bowl. That is the matchup in Miami. Who knows, though, because last year was insanely unpredictable, and we're only a year later, so who knows? But my winner is the Chiefs. I think just too much offense. The Saints' defense is solid. It's a playmaking defense. It's going to give up some yards. They won't be able to stop the Chiefs. They'll score too many points. And the Saints will also score points. They'll also score points, but, I think the Chiefs actually – that defensive line can continue to get better. That pass rush can continue to get better. You got Tyrann Mathieu, a playmaker back there. I think that's enough to help the offense outscore the Saints. I think the AFC is much better than the NFC, honestly. There's plenty of NFC playoff teams. I don't know if there's an elite team in the NFC. Obviously, you can argue if I have the Saints going to the Super Bowl that they're an elite NFC team. I see the point, but I just don't know if there's a team that I feel great about in the NFC. I don't feel like they're good teams like Bears elite defense. The Saints are pretty darn balanced, and they got Drew Brees. The Seahawks are a pretty complete team and added Clowney to the mix with some elite players like Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner. I just don't feel so like elite about them. I feel that the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Chargers would win the NFC. I really do. So I do like the Chiefs winning here. I guess the bad thing about what I just said was, since the AFC stacked, I guess it makes this prediction a little less likely because somebody could knock off the Chiefs, somebody else from the AFC. But I do think an AFC team could win it. Never know how the season goes, though. There's always random injuries, random things that happen. New teams step up. I wanted to have more new playoff teams than I did. It's just hard to go against my gut because I did go game by game throughout the whole season here. And you can see get access to that actual records and stuff through that Patreon link and through the YouTube memberships link in the description. But this is what I ended up with. Can't go against my gut or I'll be mad at myself. You know how that goes. But I got the Chiefs earlier in the way too early stage. I had the Patriots. I still think the Patriots are an elite team, like I said. But I got the Chiefs. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Again, we did full predictions through the AFC divisions and the NFC divisions, 2 separate videos. So if you haven't seen that, I would recommend checking that out. Probably should have saw it before this video, but it doesn't matter. We'll have full coverage of the NFL in the season with constant predictions, recaps every single week, power rankings every single week. Plenty more to come. Hopefully you can join us for that. Turn the notifications on. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.